Hi, welcome to today's video. Welcome to Level 5 Intensive Academic English 1 Part A. My name is Laura Cabrera and I will be your teacher during this course. Let's begin. First, I want you to think about this. How do people usually make new friends? And how did you meet your most recent friend? Let's think about this before class so we can all share. Great. Now I want you to please read this conversation between two friends. What tenses can you identify? Maybe you can identify simple present, simple past. What other tenses? Please pause the video. Okay, great. We're going to continue now. So today we're going to review the present of verb to be, simple present, present continuous, also called present progressive, present perfect continuous, past of verb to be, simple past, past continuous, and of course, modal verbs. Let's begin. I want you to please match the tenses that I have here from present of verb to be to modal verbs to the sentences I have here. For example, let's find one sentence that has the present of verb to be. That's right. How is your English class this year? Now pause your video and match the rest. Okay, let's go ahead and check your answers. For simple present, we have that sounds nice. Present continuous, I'm learning a lot of new words. For present perfect, have you ever gone to an open house? For present perfect continuous, I've been studying English for about 6 months. Past the verb to be, it was a little difficult at first. Simple past, I didn't like it. Past continuous, I was studying French. And modal verbs, I can make it. Great, let's go ahead and check the use. We're going to use the present of verb to be to talk about. We have many options and we have our example. How is your English class this year? Is verb to be used to talk about an action that is in progress in the present, an action that happened in the past, a finished or unfinished action that started in the past and is connected to the present, a specific function, a present state, an action that is true, habits and routines, an action that was in progress in the past, possibly interrupted, an unfinished action that started in the past and is still true, or a past state. That's right, we're going to use verb to be in the present to talk about a present state. What about the past of verb to be? For example, it was a little difficult at first. That's right, here we're talking about a past state. So let's remember that the verb to be in the present, we're going to use am, is, are. We use is for singulars, are for plurals, and the past of verb to be is was and were. Again, the difference is was for singulars and were for plurals. Great, let's continue. Now, we use simple present to talk about. One example for this sentence would be, that sounds nice. Please pause your video while you think about this. Okay, so we're using simple present to talk about an action that is true, habits and routines. How do I use present continuous? Example, I am learning a lot of new words. That's right, the answer is letter A, an action that is in progress in the present. Great, let's go ahead and continue. Please pause your video and find how to use present perfect and present perfect continuous. Okay, now let's go ahead and check. We're using present perfect to talk about a finished or unfinished action that started in the past and it has a connection to the present. Have you ever gone to an open house? And we use present perfect continuous to talk about an unfinished action that started in the past and is still true. I have been studying English for about 6 months. You sometimes can choose between present perfect or present perfect continuous. But if the action is finished already, you cannot use the continuous one. Let's go ahead and see the next ones. How do I use simple past and past continuous? Please pause the video. Well, we're using simple past to talk about an action that happened in the past. This action is finished. And how do I use past continuous? That's right. This action was in progress in the past and it was possibly interrupted by another action. Excellent. Now, how do I use modal verbs? That's right, we use them for specific functions. In this case, we're using can, which of course expresses ability. Other examples can be could, should, must, will, may, might, and could. Let's remember that after our modal verb, we're going to use the verb in base form. Okay, excellent. Now go to your student book page 144, please. Here, you're going to see information questions and yes/no questions with the different tenses that we just reviewed. Present of be, past of be, simple present, etc. Please pause your video and think about how these questions are different from each other. Okay, great. So if you notice, all of the information questions include a WH word or how. After that, we use our auxiliary that sometimes can be verb to be, or it can be do, did if we were talking about the past, have or has, or of course, a modal. And then, of course, we're going to continue with the verb. Sometimes it is simple present, sometimes we're going to use it in continuous, right? Or base form. Now, with yes no questions, we are not going to use a WH word. We're going to start directly with our auxiliary verb. Verb to be, do or did, have or has, or even our modal verb. Okay, let's continue. Continue in page 144, please. Pay attention to this. Who and what can be the subject of an information question? They take a singular verb. Who sits next to you in class? What made you decide to study English? So if you see, my verb is in singular because who and what, they are subjects, but they always take the verbs in singular. Here, we're using made because it's simple past, right? Okay, now the subject can also be a question word plus a noun. And let's remember that the verb agrees with the noun. What word describes you the best? I'm using describes because word is singular. Look at your example. Which cities are the most beautiful? Here I'm using are because cities is plural. So remember to make this connection. Subject-verb agreement. If I have a plural noun, my verb is plural. If I have a singular noun, my verb is singular. Let's continue. Please work on exercise A. Here you're going to complete the questions using the forms on the left with the verbs in parentheses. Lesson number 1. Present of verb to be. Where your family from originally? I need to use verb to be. In this case, I'm going to complete with is because your family is one group, right? A singular group. What about number 2? Are your parents from another city? B. Of course are, right? Because I have your parents, plural. Excellent. Pause our video and work on the rest. Okay, guys, you also need to complete the rest of the questions from 11 to 20. Please think about the answer to these questions before class because we're going to discuss them, okay? Okay, guys, this is the end of our first video. I will see you during class. Bye-bye!